Here today for Monday, May 20th goes to Sean Combs. Not just Sean Combs, but the Bad Boy as a staff, record label, and mother effing crew, because y'all been enabling this kind of behavior for a long time. Okay, he's not sorry. He's sorry that video leaked. And he's sorry he got caught. See, up until that video being released, Sean Combs was denying everything. You would still be lying to us right now if it was no video.
Never.
I didn't think I was going to ever see a video like this.
I heard abuse whispers. So
Really?
I was thinking, yeah.
I heard gay. I'd never heard porn.
I always heard gay.
Gay nonstop. And
All right, here's the scoop. Charlamagne just exposed some shocking claims about Diddy's parties, and it's not a pretty picture. Allegations of abuse, manipulation, and more are coming to light, and people are saying this could be a breaking point for Diddy's empire. I've got all the details ready. We are about to dig into what allegedly happened, and trust me, it's going to be jaw-dropping.
Video like this.
I heard abuse whispers. So
Really?
I was thinking, yeah.
I heard gay. I'd never heard porn.
I always heard gay.
Gay nonstop. And that was enough. People were like,
That's because of Wendy Williams.
What'd you say?
Oh,
That was Wendy. Wendy's whole thing was Diddy was gay since the 90s.
She knew, dog.
No, Wendy was
We
throwing
owe
that
Wendy
out
an
there.
apology.
That's why Wendy got fired from Hot 97. Wendy got fired from Hot 97 by Diddy because that's when Bad Boy was smoking hot.
Wow.
And yeah, she got fired for putting that out there. Like,
Do you think that Diddy held on to the gay rumors so that people didn't know what he really was?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because that's the perfect smokescreen. You'd rather people think you're gay than beat women.
and by the way, here's the wild thing: we still don't know what Diddy is.
I mean, we
That's
know
the thing.
little.
We know little. We know bits and pieces.
Yeah.
This shit might be deeper than rap. We don't know. Like this
The
might be a
rabbit hole's gonna
whole
get
rabbit hole.
crazy.
You might be like, oh shit.
What about
But
Carl
seeing this video.
That's what I was trying to get at this whole time.
Okay,
That is the wildest story
Yo,
that came out of a lot of this shit. And nobody gives a f.
Wait, what story? What story?
Pull it
about
up,
Carl
Mark.
Winslow?
I don't even want to repeat it.
Oh.
Pull it up. This shit sounds so crazy.
Nah, this shit is wild.
type in his name and Diddy.
But this is why I believe
Reginald
all the
Van
Cassie
Johnson.
allegations because of this video. Because
video?
she describes this
Yeah,
what happened
word
to
for
the
word.
T.
Oh,
so
yeah,
now
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
believe everything she said.
Yeah. 1000%.
I'm not. Yeah.
This is horrifying.
Also, Diddy's bullshit. While you're getting that, Diddy's bullshit ass excuse, like how he couldn't mention Cassie's name in the apology. There's no rule you can't apologize.
What happened? Oh, I'm not laughing at that.
No, I
I'm
know
laughing
you're
at this
not.
shit. I'm laughing at this shit that Marcus.
Yeah, also, you called her a liar like 3 days ago.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
get the fuck out.
Said she was looking after for a quick buck. You're a fucking scumbag.
And
And,
then-
maybe it's more triggering for me because whatever, but like that shit. I was
Why
like,
is this
kill
more
this
triggering
guy.
for you? What
I
happened?
grew up in a house, and I didn't see that ever, but I grew up in a house where there was abuse. So it was like, you watch that, and this is way more extreme than anything I saw. It's like, she's trying to sneak out of the fucking room. He's dragging her by the hair.
Yeah.
Not gonna pimp my struggle. I didn't see anything like that. But watching that is like, yo, fuck this guy forever.
Did you ever try to intervene?
Yeah, I did one time.
You got your ass kicked?
No, we didn't do anything. I just stood in his way, and I didn't say a word. I didn't even look at him, which I'm kind of like, I just got in his way, and I remember thinking, if this goes down, this goes down.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
I remember I was reading Will Smith's book, and he always said he felt bad because he never intervened. So that was like he said he felt like a coward.
Yeah.
You know, he never intervened. Watching his mother go through the abuse from his father, but I think he said his brother did. So it just a lot of that just makes you kind of think about everything that happened, everything that transpired with the slap and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like after why
Like, I'm gonna stand up for myself finally.
you didn't play the clip?
I'm trying to find
It was right there. I saw it.
Oh,
go back to the one. Go back to the hip hop DX one. This is wild, bro.
I didn't see this.
Yeah, this is crazy.
This was wild. Like I'm like, this is how you know too much is going on. This shit is it's wild but hilarious.
Keep it a buck. No, that's why a lot of people are quiet.
5, 6, and I was those 5 or 6. How many? The first one was the worst one, and then the other ones I left early. Okay, so the worst one was Carl Winslow, I'm guessing. Yeah.
So you just busting the door, you didn't hear?
No, because you know how me, I like to joke and play and stuff. So a nigga don't give a fuck. So I'm just hearing like, like all this shit. I'm like, oh, somebody wearing this bitch out on the crib. So I go busting the door. I look up, I see Carl Winslow. I'm like, so like this is crazy. Wow. That's
On crib.
You know, I think Carl Winslow, I think of the cop on but you I just can't picture that big ass nigga bent over.
Why is that not being talked about more?
Son.
Like, yo.
I used to hear Carl Winslow's gay rumors too, and then when you rewatch, he's a little risky with the acting.
But watching, yo, what type of madman are you? You're watching Family Matters, and you like, yo,
I need that.
I gotta get that. I gotta
Wow.
Carl Winslow.
Yeah.
Like, what the You're Diddy. You got access to so many people.
But that's your favorite show.
You got to
TV
get
He likes TV Dad.
So, I know you're all curious about what really goes on at these infamous freak-off parties. Let me tell you, it's far more than just fancy outfits and champagne. Imagine a luxury mansion in the hills, guarded like Fort Knox, with a guest list full of A-list stars. That's the scene at one of Diddy's notorious parties. But behind all the glamour, things take a dark turn. This isn't your typical Hollywood party. Rumor has it that some celebrities felt pressure to attend, knowing it was the way to stay in Diddy's good graces. In this industry, 1 minute you're on top, the next, you're forgotten. And Diddy has the power to make or break a career. So when he says jump, people ask how high, even if it means crossing some uncomfortable lines. We're hearing stories about celebrities feeling pushed into situations they didn't want to be in. But what choice did they have? Saying no to someone with Diddy's influence could mean career suicide.
And when it comes to hip-hop, of course, many people think of Diddy as one of the pioneers. And at one point, you were not happy that his legacy was being destroyed. Let me play this piece of sound.
I don't know, man. I just don't like it. I mean, I don't like it just because it's sad. Like, you know, how many people's legacies have we watched burn to the ground? You know, from the Russell Simmons, from, you know,
but it's
Diddy.
good.
These guys provided the soundtrack to our lives. They contributed to culture in real ways before we knew any of this. No, you have feelings, you have mixed emotions.
And then the video came out after that. He's now issued his sort of apology. Cassie's come out again. Have your thoughts on that changed?
Well, my thoughts, even in that clip that you just played, in context, I said it's sad to see these people's legacies being destroyed based off, you know, at the time, alleged poor choices. Now we know that those poor choices aren't alleged. We saw the video. So yeah, it still is, you know, sad to see them, you know, not do the work on themselves, have all that unhealed trauma, projecting that pain and that hurt onto a woman. So yeah, he put himself in that situation. And yes, that is still very sad to see. It's sad all across the board. I don't know why we act like, you know, it's just one emotion when it comes to things like this. Because somebody like, you know, Diddy, yeah, we're lying to ourselves if we say he didn't provide the soundtrack to our lives. I don't know him on a personal level. I just know the professional accolades, which were very inspiring to somebody like me. Him having his own record label, him having his own, you know, vodka, like becoming a billionaire. Like those were things that were like, wow, that's the American dream in a lot of ways, right? And to be doing that from hip hop, that was something that was commendable, but we didn't know him as a person.
So are you now angry at him, disappointed in him about the fact this guy you admired so much has turned out to be a pretty bad guy?
Angry at him, disappointed in him. I don't know if I know him to be angry at him or disappointed in him. I think what bothers me the most is just constantly seeing people make poor decisions and poor choices that cause them to self-destruct. And I think that even with this situation, one thing that I think we get lost in is the celebrity of it all. I think you have to focus on the issue, not the individual. Whatever happens to him is going to happen. He's going to have to deal with the consequences of his actions. And you see it happening now. Like, I don't know if that's going to lead to him, you know, being arrested or whatever, but the empire is falling. It's over professionally. The only thing he can do is go out there and try to get his soul right. But what about the issue of domestic violence?
Right.
What about the issue of patriarchy? What about the issue of, you know, unhealed trauma inside of people that is causing brothers to, you know, cause that kind of harm, you know, to women? Those are the things that we should be talking about, because There's somebody, as I'm talking right now, there's a woman out there probably getting beat up or assaulted, by a man, and her story isn't going to be on the news. And that, culture of men doing those kind of things, committing violence to women, is still going to be going on. We need to be having conversations about that. Yeah, solutions. We know what the problem is, but if we continue just to focus on the individual, we'll get caught up in that. You'll be asking me questions like, so should Peloton be getting rid of Diddy's music? It's like, F Diddy. Like, he's going to have to deal with the consequence of his actions. But what about everybody else that still has to deal with domestic violence? That's women that still have to deal with the patriarchy. Women that still have to deal with, men that have unhealed trauma projecting that onto them. Like, that's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to ask you about Peloton, so. Charlamagne the God, thank you.
Absolutely.
This is the book. It's Get Honest or Die
Lying.
Imagine this. You're a new artist, riding high on your first hit. You get invited to one of Diddy's exclusive parties, thinking it's your big chance to network. But when you arrive, the drinks are flowing, and things are happening that would shock even the wildest partygoers. Here's the catch. These parties are about control. Diddy seems to be gathering dirt on everyone who walks through those doors. If you don't play along, good luck getting your next single on the radio.
I'm not sure if you want to answer this, but what are your thoughts on everything going on with Diddy right now?
I think when it comes to that situation, man, I think we shouldn't focus on the individual. We should focus on the issue. Because I think what happens a lot of times is, because of the celebrity, we get lost in talking about the celebrity and not talking about the actual issue. The issue is domestic violence.
Yep,
The issue is exactly what I just said about, men not going to do the proper work on themselves, and they're dealing with a lot of pain and a lot of hurt and unhealed trauma, and they're projecting that pain and that hurt on the other people. The issue is patriarchy, right? Because as long as you have a system where men feel superior to women and they're dealing with that pain and they're dealing with that hurt, they're going to project that. We're going to continue to project that onto our women. So I think those are the issues that we should be discussing as opposed to talking about the individual. And we tend to do that a lot as a society. We get lost in the celebrity of things as opposed to, okay, what are we here for?
Because it's clickbait.
Yeah.
It's clickbait.
Like, Diddy brings the engagement, but right now, as I'm talking, there's a woman out there getting beat up by a man, right? And she's not going to get no news coverage. Nobody's going to talk about her.
We should say the name of Cassie, the survivor of the domestic violence.
Yes.
Let's talk more about her.
Absolutely. Just talk about the issue, Priya. Let's talk about the actual issue and not the individual.
When it comes to us, it doesn't seem to be the thing we think, amplified.
One source shared a story about a young singer. Let's call her Songbird. She thought she was there to perform, but instead, she found herself pressured into uncomfortable situations with powerful people, cameras everywhere, setting the stage for blackmail. Even established stars aren't safe.
First and foremost, I just want to say, I know a lot of people want to hear these stories and everything like that, because this is stuff that happened back in the day. And then maybe that if they knew there was going to ever be a YouTube, or they knew there was going to ever be social media, a lot of the stuff probably wouldn't have got played out like it did. But things happen, and these are just stories from the past. I would like to use that as, just to clear the facts up what's going on. But it all started, we was in Atlanta. And this story starts when I'm with Puff, and he's in exotic bookstores, and he's doing shopping, right? He's shopping, getting his stuff and everything like that. So, this is the first time I was ever in an exotic bookstore with Puff. So, I'm giving him his space. He's taking things off the shelves and stuff like that, because they gave him a brown paper bag. When they gave him a brown paper bag, he was just putting stuff in there. So I said, damn, he got to go put it on the counter and, show everybody what he's getting. So as he going, I'm just looking at the places where he picking stuff from. So there's one part he picked up some things from up here on my left side. And then he picked like quite a few of them down. I'm like, okay. He put them in the bag. So when I went by there and I looked up there, and it said butt plugs. And I was like, hey, yo. I was messing with him. Because people don't understand, we was like friends. He was a part of the same gang. So I'm still going to tease him. I'm still going to mess with him and everything like that. I could do that. It wasn't just no security thing. So I say, yo, what are you getting this for? And it said butt plugs, and he was like, yo, can I do my shopping by myself? I said, yeah, you can do it by yourself, brother. And he started walking and everything like that. So when he got I just waited at the counter. So when he got to the counter, he didn't even have to show the guy nothing. He just gave the guy a wad of money. I mean, like, he gave the guy a stack, something like this. And Puff wasn't the dude that carried no 20s and no 50s and nothing like that. And I mean, like, he just said, boom. And we walked out the store. So we had to leave Atlanta and go to North Carolina for a show. You understand? And it was him, this rapper, Sarah, and this other girl. We all got on a G5 jet, and we flew to G4 jet, and we flew to North Carolina. So later on I think that afternoon, same day, this rapper and him, they all in the room together. You know, it's Sarah, the girl, Puff, and this dude, this rapper. So I'm hearing at the door and stuff like that, like, yeah. So then next thing you know, somebody rang the doorbell. We had the presidential suite where we was at. So I opened the door and the dude said, yo, I'm here for my cousin. I said, who your cousin? And he said, Ja Rule. I said, well, he busy right now. He said, he busy doing what? I said, he with Puff, they're in the room, they busy, they don't want to be bothered. He said, well, I'm going in there. I said, bruh, you ain't going in there because he told me they don't want nobody to be bothering them. And he was like, yo, I don't care, man, I'm going in there. That bull like that. I said, yo, bruh, Jesus Christ had to come down here and take the air out of my body before you get in that room right there. Watch. He tried to bum rush me. I grabbed his and threw him against the piano. When I threw him into the piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked. And so then Ja was like, yo, what's going on? Yo, G, that's my cousin. He know me well, you know, and Puff was like, yo, G, what happened? I said, he tried to get in the room. I told him he couldn't get in the room. And he was like, Puff looked at Ja. He said, yo, Ja said, you ain't want to go in that room because there's a lot of freaking going on. So I was like, oh, he said it was a lot of freaking going on. So that was basically that story, man. You know what I'm saying? They went back in the room. Dude felt a certain kind of way and he left out. So I seen them at the concert the next day and they tried to, you know, form up against me. But my man Frank was like, I told my man Frank, I was like, yo, Frank, put yourself in that position. Somebody trying to get in the room and Ja told you don't let nobody get in the room. What would you do? Now y'all can do whatever y'all want to do, man. But you know I ain't taking no losses. He said, yo, you good, and that was it. Bruh, when Ja said, you don't want to come up in there, a lot of freaky stuff is going on. You got to use your mind. What they was doing with those butt plugs.
right. Yeah,
that was crazy. Yeah, it was real.
Whispers suggest they've been forced into compromising activities that could ruin their reputations. It's clear that these parties take a toll on everyone involved. The fallout impacts careers, shaping who rises and who fades away. This has been an open secret in the industry for years, and now Charlamagne is finally bringing it to light. It's a bombshell that's shaking Hollywood.
Also revealed that they got photos and videos of Diddy freak-offs.
When they did that raid, you understand? What they did was, prior to the raid, they reviewed that civil lawsuit. And that civil lawsuit told, Cassie's civil lawsuit was LaRod had already did it. LaRod hadn't did his yet, did he? Did LaRod do his lawsuit before the raid or after the raid?
Oh, before.
Yeah, so what they did was they reviewed both of those civil lawsuits and found that there was some criminal activity in those lawsuits. We spoke that on Art of Dialogue. We spoke about that on your show. I said if they really wanted him, all they had to do was review those civil lawsuits. And once they find the criminal activity in those, they could bring him in. Now, did the Federal Bureau of Investigation in Miami do it? No, they didn't. Did California do it? No, they did not. The Southern District of New York, they took it upon themselves and put on that raid and everything based on the information they found in Cassie lawsuit and the information they found in Little Rod lawsuit. But all this is bigger than Diddy. It's bigger than Diddy, bro. Cause you know who else they was doing investigation on during that whole time period? It was the mayor and the politicians in New York City. They turn around, give him the key to the city. All the mayor people that he brought on here in New York City are all resigning. They all resigning. People ain't gonna tie this together, but if you look at it, you have to say, because of Mayor Adams and his relationship with Diddy, it brought on the Southern District of New York to start investigating Diddy on civil lawsuits that was put against him. Because the feds is going after all these politicians in New York City.
Yeah, the feds revealed that, anybody that, participated in any, criminal behavior at his freak-offs, they're going to pursue.
Listen here. The mayor here take like 15 spoons of sugar in his coffee. So it's all a possibility.
Do you think it's any celebrities on them tapes?
Bro, he gave celebrity parties. So what you think? I think they're not telling the whole truth, is that because of the situation in Miami and the situation in California, and they closed the clubs like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. or something like that, that Justin and Christian was bringing big vans of girls and people back to the mansion and giving parties and stuff like that. And a lot of those stuff were their parties. A lot of that shit was their parties. They wasn't always Puff parties. It was his son's parties.
Good point. They said some of these freak-offs will last for days.
That's where they're gonna get him on the sex trafficking thing. Especially like if he was traveling and doing it. That's where the sex trafficking come at. That you hiring sex workers to come and have sex with your girl. That's crazy. That's some Hollywood shit that I don't even know, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. But they also claiming that, Diddy, he'll give ecstasy to his victims to keep them obedient.
Then they have to bring those witnesses in there. That's going to be something hard to prove. Unless Lil Rob or Cassie state that was something that happened. That's how the prosecutor's going to prove that.
Hold on a second. Charlamagne isn't exactly innocent himself. So why is he risking it all to expose Diddy? The answer might surprise you even more than the scandal itself. Let's break down who Charlamagne is. He's been in the game for years, mingling with the biggest names in hip-hop. He's seen and heard it all, and probably done things he's not proud of. But now, he's ready to air Diddy's dirty laundry, and people are asking why. Some believe Charlamagne has a grudge against Diddy. Perhaps Bad Boy did him wrong in the past, and he's been waiting for the right moment to retaliate. Others think he might be trying to clean up his own image by throwing someone else under the bus. Whatever his motivation, Charlamagne is revealing some serious details. He claims these freak-off parties were like something from a twisted film. with celebrities being forced into compromising situations through blackmail. He alleges that Diddy used these events to control people, making sure they did what he wanted when he wanted. Charlamagne isn't holding back. He's naming names. He's talking about singers, rappers, actors, and some big names you wouldn't expect to be involved in this kind of mess. He claims some celebrities were drugged, others were threatened, and all of them were terrified of what might happen if they didn't go along with Diddy's demands.
A lot of that that if you read it, it could be circumstantial, you know what I'm saying? But they gotta have witness to back it up. You just can't say that that happened based on somebody lawsuit and what the words that they're saying. They have to have witnesses in there. And I think Puff lawyers is gonna be smart enough to attack that.
Right. And they claiming that Diddy, you know, he was blackmailing his victims because he had videos from old freak-offs and he was using those videos to get his victims to do another freak-off. So
if he was blackmailing people, especially people that work for him, see, this is what it's gonna get him at. See, people think that, those people work for him, or those people, if they was artists and they work for him, or they were engineers, or they anybody that worked for them and stuff like that, your boss cannot blackmail you to do nothing. If you do a sexual act or you doing anything, your boss, if he have you doing those things like that, then he could be liable for suit because you're not doing it willingly, because that individual is your boss. So psychologically, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody say, that when somebody has something over you, could determine your job, your career, your livelihood, that's somewhat of a blackmail if they holding stuff that they've done, that you've done in the past, over your head to make you continually doing that stuff. Now, that's where he loses at. Cause some of those people work for him, or he was a part of doing something. They was part of doing something for their career with him. That's why he loses that case.
Here's the kicker. Charlamagne isn't just talking. He claims he has proof, videos, photos, text messages, the kind of evidence that could ruin careers and possibly even lead to jail time. And he's not keeping it to himself. Word on the street is he's been in talks with lawyers, and maybe even the feds. Now you might wonder why we should trust Charlamagne. He's stirred up drama before, but this time feels different. The way he's speaking and the details he's sharing suggest he's been holding onto this for years, and now he's ready to let it all out. It's not just him, either, since he started speaking up. Former assistants, party guests, and even some celebrities have come forward, all echoing the same message. Diddy's parties were a cover for some seriously
get arrested in September.
Yeah, man. Anybody who in law enforcement or people know the law, when Homeland Security ran up into his house, people will tell you, or people knew that it was just a matter of time that they was going to indict him and bring him in to see the judge, bro. It was just a matter of time. I just figured out with the grand jury and their different sessions and stuff like that, and then what one of the witnesses told me, I just figured it out that it was going to be around September that they were going to bring him in, bro. People might not understand. It's difficult when you see a brother that has so much promise become an icon as far as in the music business and stuff that he did, to turn around and just tear his whole life down. But it's all because of his mentors and the people that trained him and taught him the music business. You know, it's all about the people who trained and taught him the music business, because Puff wasn't, he wasn't born a monster. You know what I'm saying? He was made into a monster, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was made into a monster from the stuff that happened to him, the things that he had to do You understand? The things that he had to do to become who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like this, brother. You never like something so much that you can't do without. And you never be willing to do anything to get where you want to be at. You got to have principles. You got to have morals. You got to keep with that stuff. And in that music business, a lot of that stuff get thrown out the window. You understand? And that's what happened to him. He started doing the things to other people that was done to him. To keep it frank, he was doing the things to other people that was done to him. And it is what it is. You got to know better. And if you know better, you will do better. When he was in New York City, he was like that gecko from the Geico commercial. Then he turned and started going, when he lived in Cali and Miami, he turned into Godzilla. I would see him talk about how he using drugs. He was never like that. Smoking cigarettes, smoking weed and everything like that. He turned into something that you could consider a monster, bruh. Then he started doing things to people, you understand, that he learned. That's a learned behavior, bruh. Now, I'm not saying that he may have been doing a couple of things here and there with women, stuff like that in New York, but the things that they're talking about that he was doing, bringing in prostitutes to have sex with his girl and all that stuff like that, that was some crazy stuff to me, man. So I'm just looking at this whole thing, man, and you had asked me, and we don't have these conversations like most people do. We're going to go back and you're going to tell me what, we're going to talk about this. You said, I'm going to ask you how you feel, bro. I don't want no man to ever go to jail and be leaving their kids behind, be leaving their family behind. You understand? But some dudes belong in jail based on what they do and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this situation, man, when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bruh. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You got to realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's going to make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons and he had a house and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not going to say alleged because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that with drugs and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bruh. It made him into a monster, bruh. I personally feel like he got a lot of the things that he did from his mentor, and then he probably did it to the 10th power. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he was a drug abuser. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he used to put his hands on women. So it's a learned behavior, bruh. Some of that stuff may be in him through his childhood. Through his childhood, he may have some of that things in him, but a lot of things that he was doing was a learned behavior, bruh. You just don't You just don't just turn it in a matter of years the way he was doing people, man. You understand? Check this out, bro. He led Biggs to his death. He caused a rift between Wolf and BMF that led to Wolf death. Cussed Wolf mother out. Lied about owing him $300,000. Cause you had asked me how I feel, and I'm gonna get into how I feel. Took a good friend of ours who raised money when he had the City College tragedy. A good friend of ours did things to make him popular in Harlem. Let him hang with us, be part of our crew the whole 9 yards. Disrespected him and wouldn't help him. This is how I feel about him being locked up and going to jail. Some people, their karma is so strong for what they do and what they did. The stuff that he did to Craig Mack. You understand what I'm saying? The stuff that he did to Black Rob and all those people in the spiritual world right now. His karma was about to catch up and was bound to catch up with him. You understand what I'm saying? His karma was bound to catch up with him, brother. So all these things that's going on right now, the learned behavior, what he got from these people who was not living spiritually correct with their behaviors and the things that they've done. He go and transfer and do that to people with the fact of all these people that he's hurt, that always helped him and been on his side and been there for him. What's happening to him now is one of the greatest tragedies that we're gonna ever read about, bruh. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies that Shakespeare couldn't write in Richard. He couldn't write it in Macbeth. He couldn't write this shit in Romeo and Juliet. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies of hip hop, along with Pac's death, along with Big's death. And he brought it on himself because he knew that he was wrong, and he knew that he learned something that wasn't right. He know different from right and wrong, bro. You have a way to change. You know when something is right and when something is wrong, and you know if you're wrong, you get help. He didn't choose none of that, bro. He chose to be who he is, and now he gonna learn. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Charlamagne claims this isn't just about Diddy. He's hinting that there are other major figures in the industry involved too. Think record executives, managers, and even familiar faces from your TV screen. It's like he's exposing a dark side of the entire industry. Diddy's team is quick to deny everything, claiming Charlamagne is just looking for attention and making it all up. But if that's true, why are so many others backing him up? And why does Charlamagne seem so confident? The wildest part? He says he has even more to share, more names to drop and secrets to spill. With every new revelation, it feels like the entire industry is holding its breath, waiting to see who will be next in the spotlight.